Nigerian lawmakers brought the Minister of Aviation, Mr. Festus, before a panel and started questioning him. They asked him, why is it that the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to restructure the Nigerian College of Aviation, Zaria? Why is it that this administration is bent on restructuring that school, citing 6 campuses at 6 different regions in the country? Now, look at what the minister said. He said, my lord, that school in Zaria, that aviation school in Zaria, cannot meet the needs, cater for the needs of over 200 million Nigerians. Cannot cater for the needs of over 200 million Nigerians. And we know we have issues. I'm adding my own answer. This one I said, he didn't say so. I'm adding my own answer. You know we have issues with nepotism and politics. Bureaucracy. Nepotism first. Northern politicians, northern leaders are usually nepotistic. Look at Buhari's government. Look at how he almost employed audio of Katsina for federal government appointment. Katsina State, nepotism. We know how nepotistic the North is. So citing that College of Aviation is going to have restrictions on other people. So we need to split this College of Aviation into the 6 different regions so that other people can have access. Not everything, not. Then when you are going to North, they start scrutinizing you. See, when you enter schools, you understand what I'm saying. If you have gotten an admission into different schools, there's this nepotism, there's this bureaucracy, there's this thing that will limit you. There's this politics that's being played. It's all about ethnicity. So since we are an ethnic country, we want to split this Nigerian College of Aviation into 6 geopolitical zones so that everybody will have access. I looked at that tweet and I looked at the comments. Most Northerners were not okay with the answers the minister gave to the Nigerian lawmakers. See, that answer is okay. No more answer. Case closed. The restructuring is it. This administration must continue in its restructuring stride. After the NCA, Nigerian College of Aviation, we are going to the NDA, Nigeria Defense Academy. You think we are just sitting down here and talking anyhow? I've said it before, I don't usually come out to do broadcast. But when I say some things, they make sense and they do come to pass. They happen. I'm not a prophet. But I look at some things and I could do speculations. After the NCA, we are moving to other sectors of the country that needs to be demystified and restructured for the betterment moving forward, because we cannot carry most of our institutions and put in the knots that is dragging the country back. If we have the College of Aviation in the Southeast, it will bring skill and experience, connections to the Southeast. We have many Southeasterners, talented, skillful, that if they go to this aviation school, we have many pilots, many people, aviation engineers. How many students in the South that have put one course or the other, but they are unable to achieve that aim, because if you are going to the North, it's like passing through different hurdles. Is that nepotism? Is that insecurity? Is that religious, whatever, that will stop you from achieving your dream as a pilot or as an aeronautic engineer? I remember when we were small, I have friends that wanted to become aeronautic engineer. Then you now realize that we have the Nigerian College of Aviation in Zaria, just one college that is serving the whole 200 million people. It is a good answer from Festus, the Minister of Aviation, that Zaria cannot meet our needs, and let the lawmakers take it like that. After that, we are going to go to other sections of the country. I like what Tinubu is doing. Divide the North. Divide, rule, and conquer them. Divide. The hand of that Fulani, I'm much more particular about Fulani grip. I'm not concerned about anything. I understand what Tinubu is doing is setting up the Southwest massively setting up the Southwest against every other region. He's building the Southwest. Southwest comes first for him. He's a tribal leader like Awolowo. Awolowo first. That's why when Buhari finished, as a Democrat as he is, he even did much more worse than Buhari in appointments. I'm giving you my backup why he's a tribal person. You see, Yorubanization never happened before. Look at all the positions. SA, SSAs, ministers and everything. Look at how Yoruba full everywhere. And he's a Democrat too. The military guy who is a nepotistic guy, Buhari, that set this precedent, have not done half of what Tinubu did. So on that part. So I'm not concerned. I'm just concerned about him. That group of Fulani wanted to impoverish wanted to say the North, remember, we will bring you down. We will do this. This is Nigeria. All those born to rule matchmaking, they should cut it off. That's what I'm interested. I know the Southeast is being deprived of so many things. I'm telling you, we'll have a time to discuss about those things. But the priority now is that let the evil hand that is trying to put Nigeria together by all means, because they are benefiting from Nigeria, let that evil hand be dismembered. Let that evil hand wither. So if God is going to use Tinubu to do that, I'm in for it. We know that inland ports is being created in the southwest. While we have the southern part of Nigeria, we are not focusing on the viability of the inland ports. You know Ogoni, for a very long time, some people just overlooked Ogoni. Now, they carry billions of dollars going to look oil exploration in the north. Billions, oil exploration. Billions, spend billions. At the end of the day, you are coming back to Ogoni. So those inland ports that the president is setting up in the southwest, you need it better in the south. You need it better in this. That is where it is supposed to be. We are Southerners. We are what? You understand what is going on. We understand what the president is doing. He's setting up whatever bill you see that is coming up. He's setting up the Yorubas for greatness. He's setting them up, and I don't blame them. We did not understand the kind of politics that has been played in Nigeria a long time ago. Aguiyi and Nnamdi Azikiwe did not understand that Nigeria was not meant to be united. While Ahmadu Bello was practicing his northernization agenda, Awolowo was practicing Awarawa politics in the southwest. I don't use the word stupid for Azikiwe or foolish. I don't use the word. He was a scholar, but he was myopic and blind to the fact that these people are not interested in one Nigeria. You are forcing them. Look at Aguiyi. You are forcing them. And you are giving these people effrontery to start now say it is Igbos that never wanted. Igbos, these guys were not representing Igbos at a time. So if you want to lump that, I know that the Southwest and other regions are playing politics with that statement that it's Igbos that never wanted Nigeria. They were the ones forcing everybody to join one Nigeria. I know it's politics, but the real deal there is that Igbos never wanted. It was these selfish, myopic leaders, foolish leaders, that took that stance. So everybody needs to realize that people are playing ethnic politics these days. Look at America, look at Trump. Ethnic politics. If you sit down there and you slack, this guy from Emilokon, he entered. He bullied his way. He signed contracts. He entered alliances. Your turn, my turn. He did all he can to set up his people. And he's setting them up. Look at different ministries. Replacing this, put this. Replacing this, and most of them are Southwesterners. Replacing this, put this. Now, the people, the Southwesterners will get skill, experience, connection, exposure. These are the things, the benefits of fixing your people in different positions of power. Okay, as a graduate of English and Mass Communication, I'm not working in any ministry or minister of whatever, finance, minister of whatever. There are some things that I will not be exposed to, some information I will not be privy to, some experiences, some exposure that I will not be privy to. I might be looking at the pages of newspaper and some things I see on the streets and everything, or the schools I went to, on people I interact with. But at that level, the engagement at that level is high, and it's good for you as somebody who studied, who's a graduate from Igbo land. We have very few people at the ministry, the different ministries that are exposed. Because when you want to call somebody that is going to lead the country, a leader, a politician, is somebody that has the exposure. Somebody that, look at Okpebolo. He needs to be in the Senate Even while he's in the Senate, he needs the backing of some people. Exposure. So Tinubu is giving his people exposure, skill, connection, link, setting up his people for this future. I'm advising my Igbo brothers, whatever you have now, utilize it. Build the foundation of the Southeast. I've told you that Nigeria will not last because everybody is setting a precedence of the ethnic coloration self, the color, whether I know the kind of color, the ethnic coloration. Everybody is about themselves. Every region is about themselves. A bigger lion wants to eat the smaller lion. His dog eats dog. Is survival of the fittest. That's the politics that is being played now. How much do you have to bring to the table? What are you bringing to the table? How can you engage us? Do you have the numbers? You see, the Fulani used the Hausa population, population, and the Middle Belt, used them to negotiate for power and position of authority. Their old Fulani people now rose from the ranks, minority tribal with sense. Those are highly nepotistic. A Fulani does not see you as somebody who is in his level. He sees himself as above everybody in Nigeria. The Fulani see themselves as above. One governor said that the Fulani are a special people. He was standing with bandits with gun, saying that thing. The Fulani are a special people. So the Fulani does not see you as himself. No, he sees you as below him. Even if he's living in the bush, or he's rearing cows, and you are driving big jeep, or you're living in a skyscraper, he doesn't see you. He sees you as less of a human being. To him, you are lesser than him. And that's how Islam sees someone that is not a Muslim. Islam, if you're not a Muslim, they look at you as this one, rich. So everybody, the Igbo people, whatever you have, we have been saying it, invest in the Southeast. You start the investment now, creative investment. You think it might not yield. It's for the future. Look at how the Southwest politicians gather themselves and they were thinking ahead, and see where they are today. Although if you take away Lagos, there might not be any Southwest, but they focused on that Lagos and made sure that they secure that Lagos till death do them part. And Lagos is like Nigeria. Lagos, there's no state in Nigeria that is not represented in Lagos. There's no single state. So the Southwest politicians were wise enough to come together, unify themselves. I told you in my former broadcast that no insecurity can happen without the politicians having a hand in it. But there in the Southeast, we have governors, we have senators that are triggering insecurity, that are part of the insecurity because of whatever ambition. Politicians, they ride on sentiment, ideology to perpetrate crime. The ideology in the Southeast is Biafra. And they will now infiltrate the ranks of Biafra, bring a Bwago, and do all sorts of things, fighting against themselves. In Imo State, see how politics is being played. Why APC will stay long in Imo State. And IPOB, allegedly, reportedly, by people on the streets, riffraffs, they proscribe them, IPOB. So, an average APC politician in Imo or in the Southeast, if you are his rival and you are in PDP, he will set you up as an IPOB. He will use IPOB to threaten you, set you up as an IPOB. And when they hear IPOB, they can use. See, politicians these guys are mean. These guys are mean. Politicians leverage on the IPOB Biafra struggle to cause more harm to the people. Now, Samekpa is not there. So, don't we still have insecurity in the Southeast? Well, I traveled during the festive season. I don't know whether they had to pause, because whilst going, I met checkpoints. I told you before, there was a time I had to calm down, raise our hands, and move to the other side. And Aboki that was in the bus with us, usually they tell you that you should not make calls when you are approaching the checkpoint. Don't make calls. If you make calls, now trouble for you. But this Aboki did not even, he made his call. They called him and they interrogated him. Eventually, it not take 2 or 3 minutes, they release him. Then some people were now murmuring, saying that if it were an Igbo man, Yobroni Igbo, if it were an Igbo man, they will have arrested him. You see, when I talk about the nepotism of the northern Nigeria, look at Ahmed Bello, his mentality, northernization. That is why we are supporting, I'm diverting now, I supported that this aviation ministry must be taken away from that northern part of Nigeria because of nepotism. He did their blood too much. He did their blood. We once were opportune to be in an organization because the head is a northerner. We that had the qualification, we did not get the opportunities that we needed to get. But some dullards from the northern part of Nigeria, they packed them like sand and gave them the opportunity. They put few of them that were good and few southerners that were good to just oversee them. They were just there for the money. They could literally, I don't think any of them had the idea of what they were doing at that point in time. So the nepotistic tendency of the North and their politicians should make Tinubu have to restructure everything. Restructure everything. I know what I'm saying. No. Although, let me break this to you. The political class know what they are doing. But you see, something is going to happen. I've said this over. Something is going to happen that will shake the foundation of this country. And there will be restructuring. Real restructuring. I've said it before, that Tinubu is looking for a way to place, see, the table of the cabals. He's setting himself a space by doing all he's doing. I'm telling you, whatever restructuring is put in place, he first is looking at the Yorubas. And the Yorubas are going to get it. Igbo politicians, Igbo governors, whatever that you have from this mere geographical expression called Nigeria, utilize it and build the structure of Igbo land. Utilize it. Now, it cannot be too late. Other regions are waking up. The Southwest have woken up long time ago. It's the Igbos that opened their eyes to start waking up. And every other tribe in Lagos and other places, they have started waking up. I've told you, if you don't want to hear, you might go back home empty. Because there are laws and legislation that these Ronu people are trying to bring together. And the hatred and jealousy is still there since 1967, I'll be 60, whatever. The hatred and jealousy is still there, my brother. My brother from the southeast. Go and think. Tell Chuko Kabiama to open your mind and think on how you can develop the southeastern part of Nigeria. Our governors and politicians, whatever allocation that you have, try and use it to invest in the people. Invest in technology. Invest in skill acquisition. The reasons why America will control the world is because they have technology that no other person has. Some other people don't have. They have the doggedness, the size, the technology. Especially, what advantage do you have over that region? What advantage? Are you utilizing that advantage? Why are we divided in the southeast and we think we'll achieve anything? Governors, we are talking to you. The little allocation that you are getting from this mere geographical expression, use it to build the foundations of the southeast. Invest in the people. Don't be like Umahi that built an airport and that airport became useless to the people. Don't be like Wike that built flyover all over. And when you look at the GDP of an average Port Harcourt person, you marvel the GDP of an average Port Harcourt person, oil producing country. If you carry 10 million today, you want to start riot for Port Harcourt, you go see guys where you go feel influenced now. Invest in the people. I like what some young Igbo guys are doing on Twitter. Renovating schools in the southwest. I love what they are doing. The governor of Ebonyi State, Winfru, they are spending almost $1 billion to send people abroad. While there are some schools that are yet to be fixed in the school, in the state. It's only Enugu State I see that they are moving forward in this education thing. I don't know about Abia State. Skill, exposure. That's what the southeast young person needs. Skill and exposure and opportunities. Create skill. help them get skills. Wherever it is that they can get it. You can help them. If you see a potential, use that potential. Make sure that the Southeast is not lacking in exposure. We have skill and potential. What of the exposure? We need this in the Southeast. The young people that are coming up, we need this. You cannot. The reasons why you see the Niger Delta, they are being suppressed. Most of them didn't go to school. They don't have the quorum of intellectuals that can stand up and fight for their rights. There are very few of them, and they can just march upon them anyhow. Largely illiterates, largely. They have educated ones, but largely illiterates. We are having the same in Igbo land. People that are not exposed to the workings of governance. People that are not reading anymore. Our culture, we are not, what are we doing about our culture? Let's study how people preserve their culture. I'm talking about my Igbo brothers. We cannot sit down there and things will just go wrong. Other people are thinking, I've said it before, Igbos were the ones that were ruling Nollywood until the Yorubas now took over. And they are using Nollywood and the experience, the opportunities they get, they are using it to promote their culture and preserve it. What are the Igbo leaders? Ohaneze, I've said it. The only people you have in Ohaneze are people that want to be relevant. Maybe they are old. They are at home. There's nothing really they are doing. It's like you want to flex. That is what I see. I see Ohaneze as a place where people come to flex. Because the real reasons why they are Ohaneze, I don't know whether they understand the role they are playing. I don't know. What is happening to our culture? What is happening to our language? Are we preserving it? Are we doing press conferences? Are we taking courses? Are we doing things that will make people learn the language? And also, some of these things that our old people know don't go extinct. Some people, they know a lot of things. But because they are not, the government, there's no leadership to make this available to other people, whether in writings, whether in books, in compellment, they die with it. And some of this renovation, most of the knowledge our forefathers had, they die with it. The reasons why the Europeans are better than the Africans, because they documented and they preserved their culture, and they are updating it every single time. Every single opportunity they get, they update it. But we here, we are just there. We just live to chop and shit and sleep with women. Finish. There's nothing else. And become wicked. There's nothing else. Southeast governors, Southerners, Southeasterners, wake up, build your foundation.